friends.
Hey, friends.
Welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it. I'm Aurea Jolie.
And I'm Cassie J.
So for the first time, is it the first time? I think it's the first time. Let's just go with it. For the first time in Leave Me Alone history, we are doing a part 2 episode of something. And I quite like it. I quite like it because this part 2 is all about Cassie J.
And that's why I am stressed.
As you should be, because I have many questions. I have many questions. I'm joking. You're fine. You're fine. Anyway, just the most dramatic one. Quick recap in case you haven't watched part 1 of this. Part 1 is called Marry for Love, but Don't Marry a Bum. Mm-hmm. And we, these are not my words. These are some very lovely lady on BuzzFeed's words. But I happen to think that it is very sage advice, especially in today's economy. I just also want to add in that marry for love, but don't marry a bum, that even you don't be a bum because the economy is not smiling. It takes 2.
Factual. It does. It does take 2 in today's economy. And I think that as women also, we need to be, as much as we're calling men out on their shit, like we should call ourselves out on our shit.
No, of course. Sometimes. Of course. But that's not what this is about. So somewhere in that episode, Cassandra posed a question.
I did. I posed a question and now I'm questioning my whole life. Why did I ask this question? Because it is fueling why we are here right now. And I don't want to talk about this, but I will.
It's too late for you, friend.
I know.
It's too late for you.
It's over.
I have no sympathy. None. I'm just like, what is this? She's got juicy tea and I want to hear it because I haven't heard it. And I think that we should all discuss.
Okay,
so ask the question again.
I will. Okay, I want all the girls, because this is, it's a vulnerable moment, but it's also like an introspective moment. Like, can we just talk about this? Can we explain something to each other here? Like, I want to hear your stories on this as well. But for me, the question that I posed at the end of the last episode was, is there such a thing as love at first sight? Does love at first sight exist? And we started to dive into the science of it. It's dopamine, it's adrenaline, it's all of the things coming together. Oxytocin, that's the other one, the love drug, right? That the hormones that are released in your body that make you feel all these lovely, gushy things. But I also wanted to, there is that. And I think the key thing for me, why this is a topic in my mind, is I have never been the kind of person who has believed in love at first sight. Love at first sight is wildly impractical, and I'm a practical person. I need order, I need structure, I need all of those things.
Yeah.
And that's why the concept of it makes no sense, right? Even as a child watching Cinderella or Snow White or Sleeping Beauty or Beauty and the Beast, it just I just was like, what do you mean you fell in love?
Wait, as a child? As a child?
As a child, I would ask
you got
the question.
problems because
what? I was the thing is logically, it does not make sense. You have Cinderella, girl, you just met this guy, okay? You just met him.
It can happen.
You danced with him one time. One time. And now you're like in love with him? Come on. Logically for me, that doesn't make sense. And for me, I just you know me, you will pose a situation to me and I'll ask you 50,000 questions before you can get to the end of your sentence.
It's very annoying. Right? Let me tell you that. It's very annoying. Very.
So all the more reason for me to be just as intense, cautious, and inquisitive.
Actually, you know what? You know what? As you say this, I just remember how much you hate the scripts, The Man Who Can't Be Moved. Cassie doesn't do sappy love. She just does not do mushy,
so
sappy.
Exhausting. She's like,
what does he mean? He's on the corner of the street waiting for her to come. What does he mean by that? Doesn't he have anything to do?
Do something. Do something about it. Use your feet. Use your words. Make it happen.
Oh, hectic. Okay.
I'm so sorry. There's like, and you'll find me on the corner of the street. If one day you're thinking about me and you're missing, this is where I'll be. Nah,
I happen to love this song. Cass has
No,
ruined
I'm
it
so
for
sorry.
me.
I'm
He
so sorry.
is doing something, Joe, because he's like
What is he doing?
calling attention to
What?
himself.
How?
And then the news cams are gonna come and like want to find out who is his long lost love and why is this man here. And then it's gonna go on TV and it's gonna go viral. And everyone on social media is gonna try help find who is the mystery girl. And then we'll keep finding her and until she sees this thing. And then we'll find her for him. And then now she knows where he is and she'll go there. It's like a big, it's grand gesture time. That's what it is. And you hate grand gesture because yes, you do,
that's not
because
true.
Pretty Woman,
That's not true.
grand gesture.
I love a grand gesture because a grand gesture for me is an action. You're taking an action to explain or express your emotion.
Girl,
standing on the
how
corner
does
of the
standing-
street and hoping, fingers crossed that maybe you're gonna come back and find me.
How does standing outside of her window,
in my mouth. Vomit in my mouth. Vomit.
how does standing outside of her window with a boombox say that you're in love?
Because he got
What does
in
that
his car.
prove?
He found the boombox. He made sure the boombox was loud enough. He drove to her house and stood outside with the boombox. This guy, if you watch that music video of the script, she's like
just
walking.
sitting.
He's like, she walks out of the coffee shop. She walks past him and he's just like, I love you. And then does what with this information?
He
Nothing.
sings about it. He's not you. We can't all be stalkers.
I cannot be involved. Truly makes me vomit. The other song that I can't deal is James Blunt, You're Beautiful.
Why?
So whiny. So whiny. So whiny.
How are you? What?
Like,
What's whiny
dude,
about it?
Get it together. You're
just saying she's beautiful.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. I saw your face in a crowded place.
Exactly.
I don't know what to do. Be a man.
Because I'll never be with you. Maybe
Be a
she's
man.
with someone else and he's not gonna go ruin that thing.
Vomit
Maybe
in my
she
mouth.
belongs to a different class and it's not, and he can't.
Vomit in my mouth. I cannot. Anyway, but you're right. I don't like
Cassandra J,
I
ladies
don't
and
like
gentlemen.
sappy. I don't
You
like
don't like
sappy.
sappy love,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't like that.
So it makes sense that you don't believe in love at first sight.
But neither do you, and you also love the sappy.
I love sappy for other people.
That's so funny.
I don't want it in my own personal life, but
Do you know what? Can I actually
I'm
rephrase?
happy for
Because
everyone.
I don't think it's that I don't like sappy. I don't like inaction. I don't like inefficiency.
Wow. Cassandra,
like that.
newsflash, love isn't always efficient. I don't like inefficiency.
My point
Right.
my point is you cannot sit in a situation and wallow or be sad or not take action. And
But
then
haven't
be
you
like,
ever heard that love makes people do dumb things, stupid things, crazy things?
exactly, not nothing. Love doesn't make you do nothing.
I'm sorry, sitting on the road singing about your long lost love, and the police are even like, man, you got to move, you're in the wrong place. That's not doing nothing. That's doing something. His something just does not look like your something. We can't
know
all
what,
be go,
Fair?
go, go.
You
Go,
know
go,
what?
go, people.
You know what, Fair? And the reason I'm conceding is because I recently had an experience that has called all of this into question. Okay?
Yes, we've been
Right?
waiting for
all
this.
Of, it has called all of this into question and it has made me go, what? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean
Okay.
these emotions have come out of nowhere? Okay, so I am working on a project with this person. okay? And there's like a couple of meetings that we have leading up to the beginning of this project. And originally I didn't want to do the project. They approached us to do stuff with them. I said, no, guys, this doesn't make sense. My team was like, no, let's do it. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, we'll take one meeting. We'll see how it goes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we take the meeting. These people, they come up with a ridiculous ask of us. And I just look at my team like, I told you so, right? And this person is on the call, right? And so we go back and forth. Anyway, we eventually get to a point where we negotiate. We're going to do the things, whatever. Okay. Now, leading up to the day that we officially met, I think there had been like 14 different Zoom call meetings, of which I had joined like 5 of them, and the rest of the team had done all the work, right?
In one day.
Not one day, over
the course. Okay.
Over the course of like, I'd say like 2-3 months. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. So I joined a couple, like whatever. Okay. And then the day of the big thing that we're doing together comes up, and and there's the thing that was happening on this rooftop, and I was downstairs and I couldn't find the thing. So I texted this person. I was like, hey, I'm trying to find the thing. And he was like, okay, just go here. And I was like, okay, great. And then literally like a 2000s rom-com, I get in the elevator doors
Cassie's about to tell us her meet cute.
Right? The elevator doors open, and
there needs to be music for this.
Right? There he is. And he's beautiful. And he's just delightful. But we've not yet.
How do you know he's delightful? You haven't said anything.
This is my point. This is
beautiful to look at. Yes. Exudes an aura, maybe.
The
delightful.
Because I wouldn't even say that he is like amazingly good looking. Like, I wouldn't say that, right? But there was something there in a way that was overwhelming. It made me want to throw up. I wanted to run away. I couldn't find words that were coherent. And I like to think that I can speak well. And I couldn't in that moment. What was the English language? I'd never spoken it before in my life, clearly, at that point. And I felt sick. It was like, your face now was my face, because I was like,
guys, I just want to let you know that I have not met this Cassandra. I don't know this time.
Thank you. This is what I'm saying to you. I was like, what is going on? I didn't like how I felt. And what I think, all jokes aside now, what really genuinely frightened me was the depth of emotion that I felt at the speed that I felt it at. It was so overwhelming. And I was like, what is going on? So I just kind of was like, hi, my name's blah, blah, the handshake, weird handshake. Okay, I'm going to get a drink, bye. And then I went off to go get a drink while I just composed myself. And I think for me, like, this is why it's introduced like doubt into the system on this true love, well, rather love at first sight thing, not true love at first sight thing. Because what was that emotion? How was it so deep, so quickly? How was it so all-consuming so quickly? Do other people feel this? Have you felt this ever? Like, I don't recommend it, because here's the thing, is that as much as all I was feeling was lovely, the key thing that I felt was out of control. Like, I wasn't in control of myself. I wasn't in control of my emotions. I couldn't control my words. Like, it didn't feel good. And I spent the rest of the evening just kind of like, I got myself together and we spoke and all the rest of that. And he was and is lovely and, all those things. But I think if I'm being honest, I'm being very relevant, that feeling really terrified me because I was like, and I remember saying I was either Terry or Norgie or both of them. I remember saying to them, being like, if this is what it is to like someone, I've never liked anyone before in my life. Like, truly. Because the depth of emotion, it was very strange. And I hear this thing about like, it's a chemical reaction. Again, we talked about the oxytocin, the adrenaline, the dopamine, all of it in one moment. But it goes back to what I was saying to you in the last episode, where it was like, for you saw Dummy throw his head back and genuinely deeply laugh. You know, I've seen Dummies laugh. I've seen the laugh you're talking about, right? I've spent a lot of time with the two of you. I've seen the laugh that you're talking about. And I just go, oh, look, my friend is so happy. But for you were like, okay, puppy, yes. You know what I mean? Like our responses to that moment were very, very different. And yes, okay, fine, it's attraction and different people like different things. But I want to understand I want to understand attraction. What is attraction? How does it work? Because on some level, after this experience, on some level, there must be some kind of soul tie. There must be some kind of soul connection. It must go deeper than just the chemical. Because otherwise then it just doesn't make sense. Why do I not feel that way about other men that are similar to this person?
I mean, why do you, what food don't you like? There's a food you don't like. Is it onions you don't like?
No,
Are you the one who doesn't like onions? There's someone who doesn't
onions.
like onions. What food don't you like?
I really hate cauliflower. Cauliflower is
There you
the worst
go.
thing that has
Why do you
happened.
hate cauliflower? What did it ever do to you? Meanwhile, my mom loves that thing. She'll make it in
tastes really
stew.
bad.
There's different ways to make it. It tastes good, but you just don't agree with it. It's like asking why any of us like anything or don't like something. Like we're built and wired so differently. But my question isn't even that. My question for you is, what happened next? That's what I want to know.
I don't think that that's important. I think that
No, that is extremely important, mostly because I want tea, but also because it will help explain whether or not it really was love at first sight. Because if it's love at
I
first
see.
sight, then it'll go beyond that one moment in time.
Yes,
It will
for
go
sure.
beyond that, and it will build and build and build and build into something solid and something concrete. If it was that after that moment in time, after that night, or the more you got to know this person, or after you walked away from that situation, that experience, it left, then it was purely chemical.
Yeah, for sure. So a good question. Okay, so what what happened was. So
I'm having the time of my life.
I'm glad you are. I hate this so much. Okay, what ended up happening was, for the rest of that night, I really felt like I was just an idiot. Like I felt really awkward and strange around him, and I was being silly, and I just like, I hated that I reverted to this like little giggly girl. Like because I didn't recognize myself. I was like, I don't know what's happening. So where possible, I ended up spending as little time with him as possible in the night. If I didn't have to be near him, I chose not to be, because I was so overwhelmed by the emotion that I felt. Anyway, we ended up so we did all the things together. It was great. Like from a partnership perspective, it worked really, really well. And then we started a texting conversation, right? And the conversation moved from like the professional into more of the personal. And I felt the same feeling every time his name popped up on my phone. I was like, no. To the point, I think I said to Terry, I just want him to stop talking to me. Like, stop. Like, leave me alone. Like, this is too much, right? So talking turned into us spending time together. And we did. We went on like a couple of dates together, and it was really great. And then what ended up happening, which is all very, very silly, but what did end up happening was it turned like, in all of our talking, we just kind of felt so similar as one another that, have you watched this thing on Netflix, this like dating show where they reveal each other's ages to each other? Have you seen
I haven't
the show?
watched it, but I've just seen the trailer.
I've seen clips of it on socials.
Age of Attraction, I think it's called.
Something, whatever it's called, right? So they go on these dates and then they ultimately reveal each other's ages. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're on a date, and then and then I say something like, "Oh, you know, because I've been working now for like over 10 years," and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You've been working for how long?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I've been working for years." And I did that. I was like, "Yeah, it's been like over 10 years I'm working." He was like, "Oh." And then he goes, "How old are you?"
How old are you?
And I was like, how old are you? Now we're both
Right
like,
question. Right question.
because now we're both just like, wait, fully operating under the assumption that we were both of similar ages.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 34. He was 26.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. And I was just like, so we had this like moment where we were like, oh, wow, there is a gap
Wait,
here.
that's like 8 years
8
between you?
years. 8 years between us. Which
Could
is not
you?
bad.
Could you?
So this became the narrative of
The
our
journey.
story, was that
Right.
I could, but he couldn't.
Oh, I see.
Right? So that became our story. I could, he couldn't. He was still like
You could?
showing
Really?
with him.
Obviously. Oh, I
With
see.
him.
So it was the person.
It was the person, right? So it was like I could, he couldn't. And we did this weird thing where we went back and forth, and he really showed his 26-year-old self really came out. Like a little bit of the lack of maturity, a little bit of the all these things. And I just eventually sat him down, and because in my 34 years of life, I'm more direct now. And I just kind of said like, look, dude, I can't do this thing where you're hot and cold, where you're in, you're out. Like, I like you, I'm in, but if you're not, it's okay. Like, it's okay if you're not, but let's just call a spade and let's keep it pushing, you know? And he kind of said to me, he's like, all the things he likes about me, blah, 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 blah. But he's like conscious that what I want is more serious now than what he wants. And I was like, makes sense. You're 26. It's fine. And so we went our separate ways, right? So that's how that ended. So I don't know.
But see, okay, so outside of this person, if you had met another 26-year-old, would that even be in consideration for you?
In this exact same scenario?
No, I'm saying, because I asked, would you do it? Like, could you date someone who was 8 years younger than you? And you said with him. So your answer is it's specific to this person. He's like the only person you could date who's like 8 years younger, right?
Yeah.
Which means with someone else, you wouldn't even you'd be like, I'm out, right?
Well, I want to...
Don't double click, just answer.
No. If I'm being honest, if it was because, like I said, it was because of who he was and how he was. I liked him before I knew how old he was. That's why I'm saying with him I could. But if a 26-year-old walked up to me now and was like, oh, I'm 26, I'd immediately have doubt. I'd immediately be like, whoa. Like, you're too young for me. Like, you know, whatever. So
that's why I'm like, maybe you did experience love at first sight because you were willing to go on this journey with this person that you ordinarily would not have gone on.
This is what I'm saying to you, and this is why it is so confusing for my brain.
Nah, girl, there is no love at first sight. I still think it's attraction at first sight, and then you got a chance to double click. And so the thing, it's like a plant. You put a seed in the ground and you water it and you fertilize it. I know nothing about farming. But I know you put it in the ground and you cover it up and you put some water and you check in on it and you put some more water and you whatever. And then it starts to grow, right? And then the more you take care of it, the more it grows. So I'm saying that for you...
describing, I agree with in the what I would say is the logical and what the way a relationship should start is you plant a seed and it grows. What I'm saying is when those elevator doors opened, a
That's the
giant
seed.
oak tree was already standing there. And I
No.
was like, where did this come from? How did you get here? Who nurtured you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm like, whoa, like, this is too much, too quickly, too soon. I've not had the time for the seed to grow and sprout and then grow a little more and grow a little more and grow a little more.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
So if after the elevator doors opening thing and the oak tree was standing there, if after that you had spoken to him and he just wasn't, like, for instance, let's say he was super self-centered, super obnoxious, was just not a friendly person. He was just good to look at and whatever. Would that have taken you out of, oh no, let's continue with this analogy. Would that have chopped your oak tree?
Yes, of course it would have. Absolutely it would have. Because if you're an ass, I don't want to be around you. But my point is, or rather, my question then becomes, I don't believe that you would have love at first sight with someone who was horrible.
You don't know that they're horrible because to your point, you
bringing
saw
logic
him
into something that is not logical.
But it
and
is
that
logical.
Is why this is hard.
It's
that is
logical.
why this is hard.
Can I explain why it's logical? It's not
Yes.
logical for you in the moment because your brain is being flooded. But if we take a step back, or if I was right next to you, to me, it would still be logical, right? So what I'm saying is you see this person and there's an instant attraction. Let's call it love at first sight for now, right? And immediately you are drawn to him. But if you had spoken to this guy and he was just not the one, like just not a decent human being, it would have snapped you out of that so quickly.
Very quick.
But you spoke to him. He was a decent guy. You guys had chats. You were similar. You had things in common. You were able to vibe and all of that. You started texting and whatever. And it continued. My point is, if it was love at first sight, him being a terrible human would not matter. You'd be a goner. You'd start making excuses. You'd be like, maybe he was nervous. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe I didn't present myself well enough. Maybe he doesn't think I'm good enough for him. You'd make all kinds of excuses. And can I tell you why this is true? Because there are women today in toxic relationships, so in love with the person, they can't see straight. They can't even see that this person is toxic. They will make excuses for these men till their last breath. Because and I had a pastor in university who used to say something about love and relationships. And he always said that for women, we love totally and completely. And so he used to say that if you want to give a woman advice on her partner, on the person she's about to start dating, do it before she falls in love. Because after that, everything else is white noise. She can't hear you. You're just going on. So that's why I'm like, for you, you're like, I would have snapped out of it if it was a terrible person. Girl, it's attraction. It's great. Okay, not for you. It's great for me because it's entertaining. But I don't know. Look, maybe we're both cynics. I just don't believe. I feel like love needs an opportunity. See, so love can grab you, but then it always will need an opportunity to grow. And you really can, if you don't treat love right, if you take advantage of it, it really, really can just maybe not fully die, but it can just relax. You know, like just take a back seat, just let things be. So, I don't know. I was hoping this story was going to go a different way. I was hoping you were going to tell me that I need to start picking out bridesmaids' clothes.
Hectic. That's so wild. That's insane. That's crazy. Anyway, so I think there's a lot also to unpack about the emotion as well, because I think there's a part of me that's tried to like make sense of it, because my brain is going, this thing that I felt is illogical. We need to apply some kind of logic to it so that we can make it make sense, right?
Yeah.
And I still don't, like, I don't feel like this is so crazy to say out loud. And as I say it, I want to make myself vomit, okay? But like
Why?
it's like I don't believe the words exist to express what I felt, which is why
Infatuation.
I don't it's
That's a
not
word.
infatuation. It's not infatuation.
And it's not attraction.
It's so much deeper than attraction, what I felt. It wasn't
Your
like
soul connected.
and that's when I'm like, ugh, right? But at the same time, I'm like, nothing else logically makes sense. So I'm like, it's the only logical
Wait, so now that
conclusion.
you want to vomit about that, does this mean that you don't believe in a soulmate? She has to think, ladies and gentlemen. Long pause while she thinks about this.
I don't know.
Cassandra, I can help you. I don't know.
Prior to
This
experience, I would have said no. Okay, because I believe that like love, like there is love that is mushy and gushy and all of those things, but 90% of love is choosing to love someone, right?
Yes.
You choose to love someone in the moments where they piss you off and they annoy you. You choose to love you wake up each day and you choose this person, right?
Mhm.
And there are many factors that need to be at play for you to go, I choose this person. If we go back to the episode that you said, one of the things you said in the last episode, you were like, with Dummy, you chose the person and then you fell in love and then you assessed potential, right? Like in that order, right? So for me, I'm like, love is one part of a love as the movies would paint it is actually a very small part of a much bigger component. So this concept of like a soulmate, this concept of love at first sight, you two were destined to be together. Like, I don't know, because what if because it introduces risk as well. If I think that I'm just gonna call him Chris is my soulmate and I engage in a relationship with Chris and I'm like, I love this person, I choose this person, and Chris is my soulmate, and then Chris cheats on me or Chris hurts me or he starts to abuse me, and then I'm like, okay, did I marry the wrong soulmate? Is Chris still my soulmate? How is soulmate confirmed? Like it's too
abstract.
Too fluffy. It's too fluffy, right? Because then it also goes, if one person in the world marries the wrong person, then everybody is screwed. The whole
but not everyone's married to their soulmate though.
But that's my point, because if there's only one soulmate for you and you marry the wrong person, that means that the person who was supposed to marry them can't marry them, so they marry the different person, they take someone else's soulmate, and then no one in the world is married to their soulmate.
What if there's like multiple soulmates for each person?
Define soulmate.
Someone your soul connects with. I don't know. What is the definition of a soulmate? And your soulmate doesn't have to be someone that you are in a romantic relationship with.
You're now introducing too many variables into the chat. My thing is soulmate. I don't know. Now, I don't know. I think that there's someone that you can be I'm also Christian, so I believe in soul ties, like those things can happen, right?
Yeah.
And you can have a soul tie, to your point now, with friends. You can have a soul tie with different people. And they can be good and they can be bad. You can have bad soul ties, right? You can be connected badly with another person. So I don't know. This thing about a soulmate, I don't know. Love at first sight, doubt has been introduced into the system in a way that I cannot articulate, and I don't know how to feel about. Now,
can I just read? Okay, no, you go.
No, you go, and then I'll.
I was going to read to you. I've been talking for 10 years. So, don't judge me. My new favorite thing is ChatGPT, courtesy of my husband.
It is
and my sister.
Thing.
And my sister. Those two do everything on that thing. So I've been indoctrinated. So I actually just Googled it. I asked ChatGPT, does love at first sight exist?
Oh, what did AI say? I'll tell you what AI said. I'll tell you what AI said.
What did it say?
AI has gone to the internet, okay?
Yeah.
And it has said dopamine, it has said oxytocin, it has said adrenaline, it has said many of the other hormonal chemicals, but that love at first sight isn't actually a thing. That's what I think ChatGPT is.
Well, it says short answer, it can feel real, but it's not the same as lasting love. And that what people usually call love at first sight is a powerful mix of immediate attraction, physical and emotional, chemistry driven by brain chemicals like dopamine, and rapid assumptions about compatibility. Psychologists describe it as infatuation or intense initial attraction, but not fully formed love. So
Makes sense. Logical.
why it feels like love is that your brain fills in gaps with idealized traits. You feel a strong sense of familiarity or a click, and that the emotional intensity can be very convincing. This is what was happening to you. You were just like, your whole system was telling you this is happening, this is real.
100%.
But what it's missing is real love requires time, shared experiences, trust and consistency, and seeing the whole person, not just the first impression.
Yeah. Again, so logically, I fully agree. The logical part of me is like, absolutely, yes, 10 out of 10, 100%.
Oh, wait, let me read this last line. It says, so yes, it exists as a feeling, but whether it becomes real love depends entirely on what happens after that first moment. This is why I was asking you, I was like, what happened down the road?
What happened next?
And you said, oh, I would date this 26-year-old, but only because it was him. So I'm like, girl, you on the way to being in love with this man. Because now you're like, actually, maybe I can do that. I can. Me, I'm like, there's no version of the world in which I did a 26-year-old.
You see, prior to that moment, I would have said the exact same thing. That's why.
You know what's funny is I have dated someone younger than me, and I'm just going on. But I didn't know. I didn't know he was younger, and it wasn't 8 years. It was like maybe 3 years. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I didn't know. If I had known up front, there's no way I would have dated that man. No way.
I feel the same. I think there's also like a part of this for me, which I've, in hindsight, like processed as well, where I'm just kind of going like through the lens of, I don't actually know how to say these words because I just don't know how to express this thought. Like, I'm also looking at the experience through the lens of my own past romantic experiences and romantic expectations. Right?
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, was it something, I don't know how to say this. Sorry, this is not a clear thought in my head. But like, were there parts of him that I was, like I said, if we lean into the ChatGPT, like attracted to, like, that I enjoyed? Because if I were to describe him as a person, I would describe him as someone who's very stable. He's very calm. He's kind. He's, he's funny. He makes me laugh. And I was like, are these the elements that I should ultimately be looking for in my person? Right?
Do you mean these were not elements you were already looking for in your person?
It's more to see them manifested in someone, in a real person that I could hold and touch. It's not just words that I'm writing on a piece of paper. Like, here they are. This is what it looks like. And it's good and it's nice and I like this.
But you do know that it will look different on different people. Like, kindness will look different on different people. One person's kindness might be, I'm bringing you a cup of tea. Another person's kindness might be, I'm making sure you always have petrol in your car. Like, there's no conversation. So I'm just saying, don't set yourself up. Don't build an expectation around this one person's.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not.
You can't articulate.
I can't articulate it because it wasn't, oh gosh, it makes so sense.
I think what you're probably feeling is there was a way this person made you feel. And it's not a feeling that you can put into words. And it wasn't really a feeling that you had based off of one thing, like how he looked or how he spoke or that he was kind. It was just altogether he made you feel a certain type of way. And now you're kind of thinking, is this what it feels like? And is this what I should be looking for in someone else? Like if I have this feeling with someone else, and maybe it is the right.
That's it.
It's complicated.
That's closer to it. But the reason I started laughing is because the thing that I want to say is insane.
Say it.
Oh,
say it anyway.
It makes me embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed?
Because
this is a safe space, sort of.
What is this nonsense? Because what is this nonsense? Like, it's like because remember, the oak tree appeared when the doors opened.
Can we leave the oak tree alone?
Which means, it's like I already knew these things about him before I knew him.
Exactly, but that's what ChatGPT is saying. Your brain fills in assumptions about the person.
But my assumptions were right. My assumptions
but they
were
could
right
also have been wrong.
Time with him. They could have been, but they weren't. And that's for me. I'm like, if you lean into this idea of like love at first sight, you wouldn't fall in love with someone who's horrible. Cinderella wouldn't have fallen in love with a horrible Prince Charming. She wouldn't have done that. It wouldn't have happened. It is illogical. We are bringing logic to something that is illogical. It doesn't make sense. That's why
I'm going to bring this back to the previous episode where we were talking about marrying for love
now,
but not marrying a bum. And back to that, in this scenario, and on that episode, Cassandra had said she would prefer to be with someone who was at least at her level financially, who could pick up and go to Greece if he wanted to because they wanted to go, who could afford to pay for things, who was building a career and whatever.
Yeah.
In this particular scenario, you have 8 years on this man, right? Which means that when he was just fresh out of uni, you'd already had 8 years, 8 years in the job market, 8 years in corporate climbing the ladder, 8 years making the money, 8 years. Would you still have expected him to meet? Because you said you would lose respect for a man if he couldn't.
This is so tough.
Would you still stand by that? I need him to be on the same level. I wouldn't respect you if you're not at least on the same level.
Okay, and because I'm a logical person, I have to logically go, you've not had the same amount of time, right? So it would be illogical of me to expect you to be on my level if I'm 10 years ahead in the game. Do you know, I'm 10 years ahead in the game. It's illogical.
Okay.
Right? So, which is another reason why I probably wouldn't have chosen a 26-year-old, like had I known that he was 26 to begin with. That said, this particular individual, like I never had to worry about money at all.
Until you try to do something that he can't afford to do.
But one of the things that we wanted to do, and we did kind of end up doing, was travel. Like I was traveling somewhere, so he was like, oh, you're going to be there? Let me book my flight. I'll come as well.
Okay.
Right? Cool. And then we spent time together. So for me, I'm like, he was there. I don't know enough about his financial situation.
Yeah.
But in how I was treated in the time we spent together, I was not unhappy. And I didn't spend a single cent.
So let's assume that you now got, we're going to wrap this episode, but let's assume you got the thing proceeded, right? Let's assume he didn't decide that the age thing was a thing, which his loss, but fine. To each their own. Yeah, let's say that he didn't decide. I'm being serious. Anyway, let's say he didn't decide, right? And this progressed. And now you have a clear idea of his finances and it is not quite as was presented at the start. And it is a bit of a mess and he's not quite, not even nearly at your level and can't really afford things the way, because you know how men like to put their best foot forward in those first couple of weeks, take you on the best dates, spend money that they don't have. You got to impress the girl. Okay. What if you find out that that's not the situation and he was just doing that to, obviously put his best foot forward, but now the reality is he's not there? Would that have been a deal breaker for you? Like, and I'm saying this relationship was going deep, like y'all are soulmates, the attraction is there, the love is building, like you're on the fast track to marriage. Would that have been a deal breaker for you? Like homeboy is broke. Like he's a hard worker, but he's just not there yet.
It's genuinely, it's difficult for me to answer this question because I know who he is and where he's going. Do you know what I mean? Like professionally, I mean, like his professional, and to borrow your word or your structure with Dummy, his professional potential is very high, very well educated, great job, well liked at his job, recently promoted. So the progression is there, right? I would be able to see the potential and not like, oh, just give me one more chance. Oh, let me, I'm going to get it this time. I'm going to, like, genuine fact-based potential. I could see that. And again, like I said, because I'm a logical person, logically, I cannot put the same financial expectation on you if we're at different levels. Stages. It doesn't, it's not fair to you. It doesn't make sense.
Okay. Right? Okay.
So that's honestly, that's how I would. That's how it.
So the potential would be enough for you. The current potential, current potential. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if we're going to answer this question finally, should you marry for love or should you marry for money? Cassandra, what is your answer?
I'm going to steal what Ora said in the last one. You should marry for the person, followed by love, followed by potential. I think all three of those things need to be true because love without money is it's
tedious.
It's a difficult life ahead, and money without love is lonely and sad.
It's also difficult. Yeah,
difficult. Have you watched The Materialists?
Mm-mm.
It's that movie with Pedro Pascal and Dakota Johnson.
I haven't watched it yet.
Your favorite, Chris Evans. Which is your favorite?
No, Pine Evans.
Chris Pine, sorry.
Pine. And don't you dare say pine nuts. Don't you dare.
That's what his fans are called. They're called
I don't care. No, anyway, I'm not.
But like basically in this movie, The Materialist, I'm going to spoil it. It's been around forever.
I haven't seen it.
I won't spoil the ending. I won't spoil the ending.
Fine.
Okay. But basically Dakota Johnson, it's like she's beautiful, lovely, amazing, whatever. And she's a matchmaker, okay?
Oh.
And she basically must choose between Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans. And in the story, Pedro Pascal is delightful, beautiful, charming, wealthy, like he's he's genuinely a lovely person as well. There's nothing really awful about Pedro in the movie. And then Chris Evans, who is after a failed actor, and after like 12 years of trying to break through in the acting space, is cater waiter. So he's a waiter at different events. And he's like 30 plus. He still has 3 roommates.
Is he delightful though?
He's lovely and he's kind and he's all these things, but he is visibly anxious and stressed and he feels the weight of his own failure a lot.
Shame. That's heavy. Yeah.
And she must now pick between if she's going to go with Chris Evans, who is poor but lovely and kind and good to her, or Pedro Pascal, who is also rich and lovely and kind to her. Anyway, it's a good movie. It's on Netflix. You should watch it.
I'm glad you brought this up because one of the stories I didn't read in part 1 of this is actually very similar to this, and she'll tell you how it ends up. So this woman's a teacher. And she's the breadwinner. And she says, it's a lot of financial pressure. I work 2 other jobs. I kind of feel like I have a freeloader. Not that he doesn't work, but he doesn't have a degree or anything. He just works at Starbucks. In addition to that, I do the majority of the domestic labor because we fell into very traditional gender roles. It's a work in progress. I love him, but these first 5 years of marriage have been a lot of financial stress on my shoulders while he chases his dreams. He's working towards being in the music industry while working part-time at Starbucks. So
That's tough for me. I don't want to lie.
do you know what I'm going to close with? I think that marry for whatever makes you happy. Marry for love if that's what makes you happy. Marry for money if that's what makes you happy. Marry for both. That's my advice. Marry for love, marry for potential, marry for money. Also bring your own bread to the table. But what I wanted to say is I don't think that it is, and don't let anybody judge you for your decision. It's going to be you and this person in this marriage. If that's what makes you happy, you do you, boo. I don't think that a woman wanting to, especially knowing that gender roles, traditional gender roles are what they are in a marriage, in most marriages, I don't think a woman expecting that the man who's going to be father of her children can actually put bread on the table. I don't think it's wrong. I also don't think it's wrong for a woman to bring her own bread to the table. I think you should. Everybody should bring something to the table. But just when you are falling in love with someone and you say to your friends, oh, he's comfortable. I like that he's a good guy, but I like that he has money. I don't think you should be judged for that because it's a difficult world out there. And if you want to have children, you're going to need money. So marry for love. Don't marry a bum. Marry for money, but make sure that he's kind. I don't know. Marry for money, but be safe out there. How's that? Because actually, don't marry for money. Bring your own money to the table. I don't know. Do whatever makes you happy.
You've literally told everyone to do everything and do nothing all at the same time. I will close by saying I can't
choose for you. I can't choose for you.
Yeah.
You have to do what makes you happy. You have to do what works for you. We don't all want the same thing in a marriage. Not everyone is looking for companionship or for a friend or for a lover. Some people are just looking for an easier life because they've had it so hard. Yeah. And so they just want to be able to breathe. They just want to be able to afford food without having to think about it. They just want to be able to take care of their sick parents or their sick siblings or whatever. We're not all chasing the same thing. So that's why I'm like, I can't decide for you. What I can do is open your eye to the realities of both situations. It can get rough both ways, whether you marry for love or you marry for money. If you marry for love and there's no money and you are both struggling, it can be difficult. If you marry for money and the person is an absolute brute, girl, it's gonna be difficult. So choose your hard. It's not up to me. Choose your hard.
Choose your hard is crazy. That's crazy. Choose your hard. It's not wise though, but yeah.
Choose your heart. It's gonna be hard. Choose it.
I want to hear
yes.
If you've got true love stories, I want to hear if you guys believe if true love exists.
I just want to hear your meet.
Sorry, not true love.
First love.
First sight.
Love at first sight. Sorry, I said first love. I just want to hear meet cutes. Come share. Come tell me how you met your person, your soulmate. Let's use soulmate because Cassandra doesn't believe in soulmates. I don't know where I stand on soulmates, but whatever. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in our next episode. Yeah. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. Also, you can watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.